Yes, sir. So we're going to get right to it. Let's get right to it. This is a LCP short.
Brand new LCP.
So the other day on IG, man, I posted a question about people seeking closure after a relationship ends. Have you been one of those people? Have you been subjected to somebody who won't leave you alone after a breakup because they want closure? Now, in the past, I don't want to say a victim, but I've been subjected to that kind of behavior, to where a relationship is not going well. I'm not happy. The other person is not happy. Now the relationship ends, and now the other person won't leave you alone because they want closure. They can't rest their heart. They can't rest assured until they know the exact reason why they getting left. Boo, bitch. So I asked the question, is closure really necessary, or is that something that people do when they simply cannot leave the other person alone? Now we are locked in, we are tuned in right now to another edition of Stories with Sully. Yes, sir. My guy Sully locked in gave his opinion on what he think closure is. Sully, talk to your boy.
Lunchroom Chatter Pod. So in response to your question about is closure necessary for moving on, I will say yes, but I think we first need to define what closure actually is. I think all too often we use it interchangeably with the feeling of wanting to know why someone did something. Why'd you break up with me? Why'd you cheat on me? Why'd you do this or that? And not picking on folks who do that. Hell, I've been there more times than I would like to admit, right? Someone drags you through the mud, or they just do something really left field. They break up with you out of nowhere. I mean, I think it's natural to want to know why, right? To have someone explain themselves, but that's not closure, right? Closure is acceptance, right? This is the reality. This chapter of my life is quote unquote closed, right? And you don't need an explanation from anyone else for you to have closure. If anything, that's something you need to seek out on your own. But yeah, this idea that the other person needs to explain themselves or accept responsibility or accountability for their actions and apologize, that's not closure. It would be nice if that happened, but it is not a prerequisite for closure. It's not necessary for a person to move on from a relationship. And oftentimes, if we're waiting on that form of quote unquote closure, that it may not be coming around, right? Because at the end of the day, as much as we would like an explanation for some wrong done to us, the other person doesn't owe it to us, right? I mean, they don't. It is what it is. Some people just do really messed up things, and that's just the reality of the situation, and we got to learn to just accept things for how they are.
Like I said, man, we clap it up for my man Sully because he's right. I mean, sometimes in life, people going to tell you no and there's no follow-up. Hey, can I have some money? No. Why? Because I said so. Especially if you got a black mom and you got a black father. You grew up in a black household with black anything. A lot of times you're going to get told no and you never going to know the reason why. It's times I've asked my mama for something when I was 7 years old. 30 years later, I still don't know why she said no. And you know what? I'm never going to find out, because a lot of times people going to tell you no, or they're going to say, hey, this is not for me, and they're not going to tell you why. So piggybacking on what Sully said, a lot of times closure that's going to come from within you. Because when a breakup happens, again, sometimes people break up out of nowhere. I get it. But a lot of times when a breakup is coming, you know it's coming. You're not happy. Other person not happy, and maybe you might have the impression that you guys are going to work on it, but the other person simply might want to leave and not even work on it. But now again, accepting it is not easy, especially depending on the amount of years that you put in to that relationship. So that part right there can be tough, but you got to accept it, man. So if you out there and you cannot accept it, we gonna boo you. I am booing you because there's going to become a time in your life where you are going to be forced to accept it. So you rather take my boo then end up crying on the edge of the bed for fucking 10 weeks because you can't accept why TT or Jamal left your ass. But now, to dive into some more quick shit before I get out of here, man. So last episode, man, I spoke about Love Island and how this season has me addicted. I'm locked in. I'm tuned in. But now always, man, you have some dumbass on social media, fucking celebrities who say these stupid ass shits to go viral. And right now, of course, I'm going to give it some more fuel to the fire. So, rapper, streamer, DDG, recently he was on stream and he said men who watch Love Island by themselves are bisexual. So I guess I'm bisexual. So you know what? Clap it up for everybody out there, man. Who are part of the LBGT, whatever the fuck the other letters are. I support you. You guys can go back episodes upon episodes back. I always shout out the community. But this is what DDG had to say. Come on, tell me why I'm bisexual.
Feel me? And I miss those feelings. I miss them feelings of laying down. Like I haven't watched Love Island. You know why? Because I ain't got nobody to watch it with. And I think it's gay to watch Love Island by yourself. If you're a nigga and you're watching Love Island solo, you might be bisexual. Might be. Because that shit like damn near soft PORN. And you just sitting in that bitch watching motherfuckers kiss each other. It's a little bisexual. You feel?
Now, we boo his ass because if you sit around, if you're single, if you don't have a lot of family, if you have no kids, or simply if you are older, like let's say somebody's 85, 90 years old and they outlived everybody. There is no way you should simply sit around all day and not do anything because you have nobody. Because life is going to keep passing you by. So if you're 30, 35 years old, even 20, 25, and you don't have a partner, you're not in a relationship, there's no way you should sit there and do nothing at all because you don't have nobody. Because you still got to find some time to love on yourself. Do something. Go to the movies. Take yourself out to eat. Go get your nails done. Go get a haircut. Do something. Life is still going to move the fuck on. Life is still going to keep ticking, and your ass is going to be like a clock with dead fucking batteries, bitch. Boo this nigga again. Pissing me the fuck off.
Jesus Christ.
Now you guys know we got to finish out this LCP short by diving into some bullshit.
Jesus Christ.
Now there was a woman, man. She's accused of breaking into a man's home with wine and some ice because they went on one date and he decided, you know what? This is too much for me. I want to clap it up because when you have a woman break into your home after one date, he probably seen some shit on that one date that let him know, ain't the time for this. This bitch need to go.
Brand new LCP.
I'ma step aside, talk to me, tell me what this one did.
And we get a call for a woman breaking into one of our residents' homes in Fairless Hills. And we respond out, and sure enough, our officers see a 30-year-old female crawling in through the back window, and they take her into custody, and then we find out the whole story.
That woman has been identified as Lindsay Harris of Lower Gwinnett, Montgomery County. And the home police say they found her breaking into is that of a man she had briefly dated.
They had initially contacted each other about 6 months prior on a dating website. The male decided not to continue the relationship, but I guess the female wanted to continue it and came to his home and not only broke into the home, but had a bottle of wine and some water ice ready to enjoy an evening with this guy who was completely shocked to come home and find her standing outside of his house looking at him through the sliding glass door, and immediately called 911.
NBC 10 spoke to the victim off camera. He says for weeks things had been moved around his house and appeared to be out of place, and he did not give Harris his home address.
People are pretty good at finding other people on the internet.
Why police suggest you limit what you put out there. And
we got to boo again because this is the time she got caught. He said he had been coming home before and there were pieces of furniture moved around the fucking house.
A bullshit. A bullshit. A bullshit. A bullshit.
And again, I play some of these stories because a lot of people believe, especially some ladies, that these situations only happen to men. This is a huge reason why I don't date. Like, I've had situations, again, not with somebody breaking into my house, but I've had situations like this before. And this is why you have to be cautious of who you meet. And like they said in that clip, you have to be mindful of the information that you put out on social media, man, because as we know now, a lot of people, they divulge too much fucking information, and a lot of times that shit can come back to bite you in your ass. But if I go on 1, even 2 dates with you, and it was 6 months ago, and now you showing up at the crib, that's different. Now, again, you guys who are fans of that LCP.
Brand new LCP.
You guys know I spoke about a situation earlier this year. I believe I spoke about it on a recent bonus episode where I spoke about the fact earlier this year I was renting a property from a woman, and this person's daughter made me feel uncomfortable to where I had to prematurely get the fuck out of that rental situation because I was renting a location. And again, I was made to feel uncomfortable. And I expressed that multiple times. Hey, I am uncomfortable with this. Well, matter of fact, you guys can go back and check out that bonus episode. I spoke about that situation more at length, but I say that to say these things happen. And that was with somebody I was not dating. I was simply renting a property, and this person's mom was the property owner. So I want to boo people out there, man, who put people in situations to be uncomfortable and did not understand why somebody does not want to talk to you at all in any capacity. Like the story I just played, man, I'm sure that guy does not talk to her. So there's no reason you should pop up in my crib, move my sofa, move my table, and show up with some ice and some fucking wine. You are a delusional motherfucker.
Jesus Christ.
But now to round out this bonus episode, man, every summer, you know, this happens throughout the year, but crime often peaks during hot weather. You know, people are more frustrated, tensions flare, more people are outside all day, every day versus being inside the house. Now, there was a situation, man, but there was a 13-year-old boy killed in a gang-related drive-by shooting. Also, alongside him dying, a 45-year-old man and a dog was also killed. So I'm going to step aside, play for you guys the news story. We're going to come back out here and round out this. Come on, this brand new episode of that.
Brand new LCP.
13-year-old boy and an adult male and a dog are dead. Here's a picture of that 13-year-old victim. His family identified him for us. His name was DeMarcus Shirley. According to friends, he was hanging out at this home on Rockcliffe Road in DeKalb County. That's near Gresham Road last night when someone opened fire on the home around 4 o'clock this morning. Police are calling it a drive-by shooting. Witnesses said there were a total of 10 people in the home. That's kids and adults. Here's what DeMarcus's friends said about losing him.
It hurt that it had to happen to him out of everybody. Like, he had nothing. Like, he just a little kid playing.
Those boys told us DeMarcus was an energetic and funny kid. They were all cutting grass this summer to make money so they could do things like buy pizza.
Man, I wanna send some applause, and I wanna send some love, man, to the family of DeMarcus Shirley and also to DeMarcus, man, because 13 years old, there's no way your story should end in a drive-by shooting. There's no way. And again, I reside in Atlanta. DeKalb County, you know, around that location where it happened, it's probably only about maybe 30 minutes from me. So that makes it more depressing when you think about the closeness of it. And again, I understand, you know, certain neighborhoods are not the best, but I feel as if we have to do what we can to, like, we can make our neighborhoods better. Like, simply because you live in a bad neighborhood does not mean the neighborhood has to be bad. Us, the residents, we play a part in making these communities better. People love to say, especially black folks, you know, the white neighborhood is better because they take care of their shit. You have to take care of your shit. Like, simply because you live in the quote unquote ghetto does not mean the neighborhood has to be ghetto. The people in it make it ghetto. Man, I got to end off this shit on a positive note. So there was a teen, you know, he was riding his bike down the road, I believe Arizona or wherever the fuck he was at. And he seen an older woman who was suffering from dementia. She was wandering down the street in triple digit heat and he stopped to give her an assist. Come on, clap it up for this young brother.
I don't think there's any apartments around here, I can tell you that.
There are moments in life that reveal who we are. For 14-year-old Royal Cothran, it happened on a bike ride in Gilbert back in June.
Yeah, I could look it up on my phone if you want me to.
With temperatures soaring above 100 degrees, he came across a woman who was lost, confused, and struggling in the heat. And without hesitation, he stopped.
I don't even know. She just looked like something was wrong. So I started talking to her.
That woman was Teresa Morgan, a beloved mother recently diagnosed with dementia. After becoming disoriented, she unknowingly wandered miles from home after visiting a nearby grocery store. And Royal became the lifeline she didn't know she needed.
I knew it was hot. She was sweating.
Instead of riding off, Royal stayed by her side, getting her to shade, and was able to get Teresa to remember her son Jeff's phone number.
Maybe we can try to call him on my phone.
It's incredible, really, what he did.
Jeff says Royal explained the situation, racing over minutes later before the Gilbert Fire Department arrived on scene, telling me what Royal did wasn't just helpful, it was life-saving.
Just so lucky, so fortunate that he ran across her and he cared enough to stay with her and to take care of her.
His mom says she's proud, but not surprised. Helping people has always been part of who her son is.
Super proud. Obviously, he was calm, he was compassionate.
The outcome would have been much, much worse had he not dealt with it.
Soon, Roy.
So, man, we going to clap it up for my man, 14-year-old Roy, because that is how teens should be. Those are things that we did when we went outside. Of course, we went outside, we had fun, we laughed, we joked, we did pranks. But if we seen somebody older or we seen anybody who needed some assistance, we helped them. We didn't rob them. We didn't beat them. We didn't jump them. That's why I said times have changed so much. But simply because you live in a neighborhood that somebody may consider ghetto, it does not have to be ghetto. The residents make it ghetto. And before I get out of here, fellas, and especially to the ladies, if you are talking to somebody, you are dating somebody, do not stalk them, okay? Stay your stupid ass at home. There's no need to stalk somebody. If somebody does not want to talk to you, we are adults. You have to move on, okay? That's how, move on. And that's how we're going to end it, man. So make sure you guys continue to have a great summer. Be safe because we know school time going to come back around. So, I hope your kids is having fun, that they comfortable, because I know here in Georgia, school time, I believe they go back in under a month already. And I believe up north, they go back around September. So make sure your kids are having fun. Make sure your kids are being safe because you want your child to be able to go back to school and for the school year not to start. And your child is tragically not here anymore. Protect your kids. Protect your life. Words of the LCP.
Brand new LCP.